Hi there, you're watching the Gardens and Graveyards channel, and today we are in Lafayette, Oregon,
Yes.
Not Louisiana. Although that cemetery is definitely on my bucket list. But this is supposed to be the most haunted cemetery in the state of Oregon. And there's all kinds of strange, conflicting stories that don't line up with a true haunt. So the first thing we're gonna do is just walk through the cemetery and admire it and see what we see. We're going to be listening for door slamming, footsteps, and a woman laughing hysterically. Now, the stories say that she laughs hysterically, but it's not telling me if she's laughing like she thinks life is hysterical, or if she's like crazy and just like howling at the moon hysterical.
Anyway.
Either way, we're gonna listen for that and see what we see in here. I do know who the first woman burial is, so we're gonna look for her grave and see if we can find her.
What's her name?
Yep.
What's her name?
Her name is Sarah Hussey or Hussey?
Hussey?
Hussey.
Hussey. Hey, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. How are you doing?
Go through the human door or the hearse door. Spencer wants to go through the hearse door. I'm gonna go through the human door. Has a good creepy effect. So this Pioneer Cemetery was established in the 1850s, and it is currently owned by the Yamhill Historical Society. It's covered in Queen's Anne lace. There's a giant family bed. Oh. Is this her right here?
Huh?
That's her last name.
Hussey?
Can't tell who's the... Oh yeah, here it is. Sarah. You can't see.
Oh,
You can't see all of her name, but her father is mentioned down here. She was born in 1859. Is that her? No, she died. Died in 1859. It's hard to read, but I could see it on Find a Grave, and she was 37 years old. She had 8 children. It's unfortunate that after all these years, this grave has been broken, or this headstone's been broken. You can see where it came off.
This is on top of that.
This may have been on the top of it. Yeah.
That's too bad. That's a recent break. That's a recent break.
It is a recent break. You can see that it's not discolored yet, like this would be. This one's a few broken ones.
This is new.
Maybe.
Newish.
This is not new.
No, this is not.
1921 and 1925. It's the town of Newburgh over there. There's 3 big, huge family plots with no obvious headstones in it. I don't know. Looks like there was one here. This looks like the base of a headstone, but the stone itself is missing. That's a huge, huge lilac. Huge. Again, the headstones would have been up there. The graves are severely sunken in right there. Yeah. This is one of those lawn crypts. That's a huge marker. 1911. Their name is Begun. Julia Emma. Yeah, they have footstones too. So they've got the headstone, footstone, Father Emma. That's a huge family plot. (1907) Leela Grace. All right, so one of the stories is that a woman by the name of Lena committed suicide in her home nearby with a cleaning solvent. And that homestead is now a winery, and the winery is haunted by her. But it's said that she also haunts this cemetery. And people have seen her apparition here, wandering through the headstones. However, she doesn't appear to be buried here. So I'm not sure why she would haunt this cemetery, unless, of course, there's some connection as to why she committed suicide in the cemetery. I don't know. Or her name is just not on the registry because her haunt is famous and they're trying to protect her burial place. That could be as well. I don't know. Some sweet peas growing right there. There's some beautiful oaks. Aren't they gorgeous? They're huge. That beautiful stand of oaks. It's kind of magical in there. Right, we have a bunch of flat markers here. Ooh. Baby Macabin, Baby Kinder, Baby Wise, and another Baby Wise. It's like a teeny tiny baby land right here. It's the Green family plot. Valentine and Eliza Schreier. Benjamin Fisher. Oh, Benjamin F. Schreier. That makes sense. And Louis Schreier. They both died in 1905. That's a really interesting headstone. J.L. Hayes, medical doctor, died in 1895. Man, imagine being a doctor in 1895 or before. Let's see. So it says. Ruth Dalton, wife of J.L. Hayes. There's some sort of inscription here. It's hard to read. There's some vandalism. I don't know if you can see this spiral was done out. This was not part of this headstone. There's some spiraling here. This does say something. Oh, it's Woodman of the World. Well, that's why they have a really cool headstone. There's the Mason sign as well. Interesting lattice work on the base. Then we've got this family plot. It's recently been visited by someone. Drinking sunglasses. These look like maybe babies. Looks like somebody's planted it with something sweet. I don't know. Let's see, what's this say? Miles Carey, 1811 to 1858. Right? Let's see, come in here. Nancy, 1854 to 1856. Not sure what these little flowers are. They're really sweet. I think these must have been placed here on purpose. So there's a big Carey marker here. And this is a Carey. And then all of these, this says Father. That says Serene. Oh, I like the way they spelled Serene. Cyrene. That's cool. So this is clearly the Carey family plot. Yikes, look at all those webs. Eek. I'm not sure what that is in there. It smells like something that I can't quite place. Look at that oak. Holy smokes, it's huge. All right, here's a few more. All right, here's a broken spire here. Let's see who this is. Ouch. Nels Brook, 1851 to 1909. The ground is so dry and cracked. Look at these cracks, are huge. This one says Margaret. This one is I can't tell. Not sure. So I'm seeing a bunch of webs on the ground, so be careful of whatever is making those, that we don't get bit. There's another one that's broken, just leaning here. He's broken. Just makes you wonder how many have been lost to time here. Okay, I'll look at it. There's a shrub rose and a headstone right here on the ground. It was up on this base. It fell over. It's so hard to read now. I don't know. I'm gonna go look at this one. Quite the large family plot with just one big headstone in it. I know. This is Mary Harbison, wife of Matthew Harbison. Enlisted in Company C-34 Infantry. Iowa Infantry. Died in the service January 20th, 1863. He sleeps in an unknown grave in the National Cemetery in Memphis, Tennessee. Oh. So his wife is here, and then Matthew, her husband, is in Tennessee. I don't know. All right. So here's the Alsop family plot, and Spencer and I both feel like we should know who the Alsops, or a family of the Alsops, maybe not this family, but for some reason we're not placing the name with an event or place. Maybe they're famous in Portland and not nationally. I don't know. So there's more Alsops in there. This is a hawthorn tree. Multi-trunked. And we've got August Erickson, died in I can't tell. 10? No, 19 something. I don't know. All right, so this tree is awesome. I bet it looks so beautiful when all the red berries are ripe. All right, so then it's a little bit more of a modern family lot with the cable wire and steel posts, and we saw a lot of this in the Peoria Peoria, Oregon Pioneer Cemetery. Had a lot of this. It's like blacktop. This whole thing is all cemented over. That headstone is missing. That one is broken. That one's missing. I don't know if I could read this one. Be on the other side. Anna, wife of Samuel Bayliss, 1935. And these ones have these vase spaces, but they are just huge. It makes me wonder if this blacktop style was added later. I'm not sure. Spencer is venturing further and further away. I can't keep up. Okay, this one, giant square. Byron Clement, 1911. These all Clements. I don't know if you could tell how deeply so many of these graves have sunken. Quite a bit. Oh yeah, they're all Clements. It's a big Clement headstone. 1938, 1943, so a little bit newer. So on the outskirts here, along the edge of the cemetery all the way around, or I guess 3/4 of the way around are all hazelnut farms. Interesting. Alright, so I'm gonna keep going. The more famous story of this cemetery is about a woman named Anna Marple. And there's 2 stories about her. One story is that she was hung here in this cemetery for being a witch. And just before the rope tightened around her neck, she cursed this town to burn down. And ironically or otherwise, this town has burned to the ground twice and has had several other significant fires throughout the years since her death. The other story is that her son, Richard Marple, was hung in this cemetery for murdering and dismembering a man. And some stories say she helped. Some stories say it was just the love of a mother. But it's said that when he died, she cursed this town. That story says that she was a gypsy and a seer, and that she cursed the town to be ravaged in fire. And again, this town really was burned to the ground twice. So whether that's on Anna or not, I have no idea. But it is said that it's her laughter that we hear in the cemetery. Because she caused the fires? Because she thinks life is hilarious? I have no idea. I haven't heard any women cackling, laughing, or otherwise. The most strange noise that I've heard so far sounds like a drill. Going into like wood that it's like restrained against like a high-pitched drill sound. That's all I've heard so far, but if Anna's spirit does haunt these grounds, I'm sure she has a reason to. And I hope that she finds rest in the long run. Most of these stories come about from encounters of when the Historical Society here used to let people pay a small fee and sleep here overnight. And most of the stories come, they encountered, when people have had encounters here, at like 2 o'clock in the morning, 11:30 at night. So how much of it is active imagination when you're sleeping in a dark cemetery versus what really happens? I'm not discounting either way. I'm just stating facts here. All right, let's keep looking at this beautiful cemetery. We've just come to an absolutely gorgeous family lot. It almost, we'll see what the names say, but it almost looks like this may have just been the original cemetery and then it, expanded from here. All right, just outside of the fence we have Helen Percola from 1936. So that's not the earliest grave. But then we have this. Look at this. It is just so beautiful. Let's go inside. Look at this. The Stewart Iron Works in Cincinnati, Ohio, made this fencing, which is super cool. All right, so let's start at this end. Is it over on this side? John Bird, 1810 to 1894. You're having this conversation about the strangeness that this story of people being hung in the cemetery and those people not being buried in the cemetery. The woman Anna Marple is buried in Jacksonville. I do not know where Richard Marple is buried. He's not in this cemetery as far as, records, public records go that I can find. And it just seems odd that you would hang someone in a cemetery and then not bury them in that cemetery. And it makes you wonder if this concocted story came about from some criminal who burned down the town and blamed it on some woman. Because how convenient to blame it on a dead woman, no less. I don't know. Anyway, I really like it underneath these oak trees. It's so peaceful. Super cool. Some more broken headstones. Look at this thing. It's huge. Man, 1856. Oh, here's Mary Ann something.
Burton.
No. Burton.
No,
daughter of. Oh. It would have been Mary Ann Amy, daughter of James and Margaret Burton. And she was only 6 years old. Oh, and then this is just like a jumbled pile of. There's.
Abused.
Henry Cooper.
I will say, Henry Cooper.
Yeah, husband and wife. So, Jemima and Henry.
Jemima.
All right, we are getting ready to leave. I just wanted to show the overall view. All right, well, that was our adventure into the Lafayette, Oregon Pioneer Cemetery. And we've been in some really creepy cemeteries that really felt like we didn't belong there. And this cemetery feels very peaceful and calm and just sort of like a serene, sweet, quaint, quiet property. I guess we'll report back to you if we come home with scratches all over our backs, because that's the other thing that is reported. But I'm not feeling any pain, so I think we're good. I love this gate, and I love that it has the established date on, like, in the gate. It's pretty cool.